morning, your majesties. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that are new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. And I am wearing my Chopped shirt that is Adam McIntyre's merch. So I'm wearing my Chopped shirt today, so I hope you guys like it. And I have a story time for you guys. This one's called Girls Night Out. Okay, and it goes. Oh, Girls Night Out is a scary story about a teenage girl named Isabella and Chloe, who are stalked by a dangerous murderer. Okay. Isabella and Chloe were two typical American teenage girls. After school, they spent all of their time together watching scary movies, having sleepovers, shopping for new clothes. They liked partying, keeping up with their friends, having fun, and just enjoying life. They had no way of knowing that horrible fate that life had in store for them. One night, Isabella and Chloe decided to have a girls' night out. They planned to sneak out to a nightclub as soon as their parents went to sleep. Isabella kissed her parents goodnight and went upstairs to bed, where when she thought that everyone had gone to sleep, she took out her cell phone, called her friend Chloe, and told her to meet her at the store down the street. Chloe agreed and hung up. As Isabella quietly opened her bedroom window, trying not to wake anyone, she stepped out onto the windowsill and climbed down the drain pipe. As she walked down the deserted street, she got a strange feeling that she was being watched. The hairs on the back of her neck pricked up. She glanced behind her, but she was alone. When she came to the corner store, there was nobody around, so she took out her cell phone and called Chloe. "Okay, I'm at the store," she said. Hurry up or I'm going home." "What's wrong?" asked Chloe. "I don't know," replied Isabella. "This just doesn't feel like other nights. Something doesn't feel right. I've got a bad vibe." "Stop it. You're just being paranoid," laughed Chloe. "I'll be there in 2 minutes." Isabella hung up the phone, but she couldn't shake the feeling that someone or something was watching her. 5 minutes later, Chloe turned up and the two girls walked together to the nightclub. The girls were too young to get into the club, but the bouncers never asked them for ID. They strolled inside, and pretty soon they were dancing to the music and flirting with guys on the dance floor. Around 3 a.m., Isabella was chatting to a really cute guy who must have been at least 10 years older than her. Suddenly, she felt her phone vibrating in her pocket. It was a text message from her ex-boyfriend, Anthony. She hadn't heard from him since they broke up a month ago. The text read, "Come outside, I've got a huge surprise for you." Curious, she looked around and saw Chloe busy talking to some other man. So without saying goodbye, Isabella walked out the door of the nightclub. She had just taken a few steps when she received another text. It read, meet you around the corner over by the dumpster." The street was dimly lit and deserted. Isabella had a feeling in the pit of her stomach something didn't feel right, but she told herself she was just being overcautious. Inside the nightclub, Chloe was looking for her friend. After waiting for 15 minutes, she began to grow impatient. She scanned the dance floor, but there was no sign of Isabella. She even checked the toilets, but they were empty. At 3:27 a.m., a relieved Chloe got a text from Isabella. It read, "Meet me outside now. Hurry." When Chloe got outside, she received another text. "I'm around the corner over by the dumpster. Come watch me sparkle." What the heck? Chloe followed the directions, crossing the dark and lonely street. When she rounded the corner, she was confronted by a horrific sight. Her heart froze in her chest. Isabella was hanging upside down from a street light in the parking lot behind the dumpster. Sparkling Christmas tree lights were wrapped around her ankles. There was a large pool of blood below her. Her body was completely stripped of clothing, revealing deep wounds along her stomach and chest. Chloe fell to the ground and began screaming hysterically. Some people who were standing at the door of the nightclub heard her cries and came rushing over. When they turned the corner and saw Isabella's bloody corpse hanging in front of them, they were horrified. The police were called and they questioned Chloe for hours, still in this state of hysteria. She could barely talk, sobbing uncontrollably. She told them how she and Isabella had sneaked out that night and gone to the nightclub together. She tried to remember all of the guys they talked, flirted with on the dance floor. They asked her if she knew anyone who would want to harm Isabella. Isabella. But she couldn't think of anyone as much as she wanted to catch Isabella's killer. She was of no help to the investigation. During the interrogation, one of the cops produced a plastic bag and took out a blood-stained envelope. "We found this lodged in your friend's throat. It's addressed to you," said the cop as he handed her the envelope. Oh no. Chloe scrawled across the front with trembling hands. She took out the piece of paper inside and read it. The letter read, "Maybe if you stayed in bed like you were supposed to, things like this wouldn't happen. Don't go sneaking around at night. Bad things could happen." The cops had to grab her before she fainted. An ambulance took Chloe to the hospital and she was treated for shock. When Chloe returned home the next day, she was still shaken. Her parents told her that Isabella's ex-boyfriend Anthony had been arrested for the murder. He was later released after passing a lie detector test. He claimed his phone had been stolen on the day of the murder. The police didn't rule him as a suspect in the case, but they didn't have enough evidence to charge him. As fate would have it, Isabella's murder would remain unsolved. Nobody was ever brought to trial for the crime, and as time went on, people began to forget about it. 2 years had passed, and Chloe had almost managed to forget about that terrible night when her best friend had been savagely murdered. One night, she called her boyfriend and asked him to meet her at the park. It was about 2 a.m. She began to walk to the park and felt a strange presence, just like the one Isabella had told her about that night she was murdered. She was almost to the park when the feeling came across her, so she just let it go. Her phone beeped. It was a text message from her boyfriend. "Almost there, baby. Love you lots." It made her feel much better. Her last task was to pass by the store. The park was on the other side. She began to walk but heard something behind her. Immediately she began to run. Her boyfriend got to the park and waited for about 15 minutes. At 2:35 a.m., he got a text from Chloe. It read, "Keep walking forward and you will see me." He did as the text suggested and walked forward. There, hanging upside down from a tree, was the mutilated body of Chloe. Christmas tree lights were wrapped around her ankles and she was completely naked and covered in blood. He called the police and was interrogated all night. The next day, when Chloe's boyfriend got home, there was a letter waiting for him on his parents' doorstep. It was stained with small drops of blood. The note inside read, "Don't go sneaking out. Don't go sneaking around that night. Bad things could happen. I wish I could tell you that the murders of Isabella and Chloe were solved, but that's just not the case. Today, the police say the investigation is still ongoing, but they have no new leads. The murders are seldom spoken about nowadays. They were high-profile cases at the time, but due to the strange lack of evidence, people soon forgot about them. Everyone who was involved went on with their lives." You may be wondering how I know so much about these cases. Well, I'd rather not go into it, considering it is still an ongoing investigation. If you must know, I was the cop who was assigned to the case. I was the cop who handed Chloe the blood-stained letter. You may also be wondering why the murders were never solved. Well, like I always say, don't go sneaking around that night. Bad things could happen. He he he. Yeah, yeah, don't be doing that, you guys. I, don't be sneaking out at night, because, that bad things can happen, like, especially around 12, like, I mean, like, it's close to the witching hour, like, just stay inside, behave. But anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Princess Peyton. Hit the red button to become your majesty and hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I upload a video. And I love you guys so much. You guys are the best human beings ever made. And you're the king of my heart in the song lyrics of Taylor Swift. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Okay, love you. Bye. Mwah.